Hi, I'm Bran, and I love BET Plus Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise BET Plus Christmas movies.
I'm Alonzo, and I like when BET Plus Christmas movies make me think about Roller Boogie, and this
is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brendan and friends host his podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Oh my gosh. Guys, whip out the BET Plus free trial.
Back.
It's back.
Do you have a
and
second
better than
email
ever.
address? You need one.
I got enough to go around,
Yeah,
guys.
you do.
If you need another email address, go email me. I'll hook you up.
Brandon
Hook you
spent
up.
his 20s creating email addresses for free trials.
I have an email address that's I think you should dance at gmail.com. I don't know why. I just needed to create an email address one day, and I was like, I do think you should dance. Not me.
Yeah,
I'm fine taking this one off.
I hope you dance was taken.
Yes,
and you went
I
with,
think you should dance.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. That's exactly
Email
right.
Brand anything you want to email him at I think you should dance at gmail.com.
That inbox
you
is
even
getting
remember
flooded.
the password.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
No, he only uses one password. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
No, don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't
what am I
worry.
thinking?
Even on my throwaway accounts. I mean, I got to know.
It's also I think you should dance.
I know.
The password is also I think you should dance.
People think that I'm not a fan of dance.
Brand thinks that you should dance.
I listen.
Just leave him out of it.
I
You
don't
should
think that
die.
I should dance, but I think it should be for you,
Yeah, just not for you.
not for me,
That's right.
and
Got
that's fine.
it. Yeah. You a roller skater?
I have been.
Alonzo, did you ever hit the rink in your day roller skating?
It was, in junior high, it was the thing for a hot minute. And so,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely participated in that. And then a few years ago, there's a rink in LA that does like a Sunday night kind of retro disco thing. And about, now we're talking about like 15, 20 years ago, a friend of mine had their birthday party there. And I went out there and I fell on my butt once and hurt in several places. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. I think Alonzo and Dave at a roller skate party is
That would be a fun
pretty
time.
fun time.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'd be show up for that.
It was until it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes at the roller skating rink. There is still one in town in Taylor's.
There is. That's true.
I took a youth group there. Don't you worry.
Dude,
That's
I
what all
took-
good youth pastors
I
do.
took an after school care program to
Yeah.
the one in out there on Simpsonville. Now
Yeah.
we're just in Greenville talk now. But yeah,
is that is that the Simpsonville
the
place where there's a,
Golden Lanes or
a
whatever?
lot of different things? Or is
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
the thing that's crazy is that in all those years, no one has ever changed the carpet in a roller skating.
No,
rink.
Oh,
Like,
no.
once the carpet's in there, that is the
you,
carpet.
you can't change
Why
it.
And it was
would
all
you?
made in the
There
same
was one.
decade.
There was one guy that installed all the
That's
carpet
right. He was
across
like,
the country,
I'll give you
and
a
he's
deal.
dead.
I'll give you a deal, but you can't change it.
So we can't change it. The guy is no longer with us. Rest in peace.
Well, I think the hardwood floor kind of takes priority, whenever the upgrades are happening at a roller.
I
That's right.
suppose. I
Yeah,
suppose.
you
I
gotta keep
suppose
that-
so.
You got to keep that.
And those
rink.
carpets, you can't just
Yeah.
find those.
No.
Those are tough. If you're wondering why we're talking so much about roller skating today, it's because we are rolling into Christmas.
Yeah, we are.
rolling into Christmas. A BET Plus movie that originally aired on December 1st, 2022, and it went a little something like this.
I love the spin.
The movie kicks off.
You should say the hashtag save the spin.
We're not there yet.
I love
man.
the spin.
We're not there yet.
I love the spin. Hashtag save the spin. I love the spin.
Stop it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The movie kicks off with some roller skating, if you can believe it. And there's two kids, Deja and Ian. Did you hear about this one? And they are skating and clearly crushing on each other. Ian asks Deja if they can, quote unquote, go together. And she's like, go together where? And he's like, go together. And she's like, rock, paper, scissors? Just kidding. Yes. They go home to decorate a tree together. They kiss under the mistletoe. They're having a wonderful time. This all happens in one night or over the course of a few years. Who can tell? They're talking about leaving messages in each other's stocking when Deeja's grandma comes in and tells her that her mom has been in an accident. Next thing you know, we're at the funeral, the wake, is that what you would call it?
Sure.
After the funeral?
The after party.
And after party, sure. And Deeja tells Ian that she has to go live with her dad overseas. He's in the military. And Ian tells Deeja, gives Deeja a roller skating keychain to remember him by. So, they're going to marry. Cut to present day. Deeja is an influencer on the social media. And basically, she tries to get Gen Zs and millennials to find the world with retreats. Those are her words, not mine. She's talking to her cousin, and she reminds her that she hasn't been home since her mom died. And she's like, hey, I got to go. Her boyfriend comes over. They have sexy time. And then her cousin calls her again and says, hey, it looks like you're going to come home because grandma's in the hospital. So she does have to go home. And she's going to hang out for a while, make sure that everything's going on good with grandma. Naturally, she goes to the roller rink. Ian is there, of course, with a posse of skaters. And he goes up to her and is like, hey, let's hang out. Let's take selfies. They're having a great time. They end up decorating for Christmas. And then she finally gets back on the skates for what I can only say is one of the most confusing montages I've ever seen. So her boyfriend, who she has still, feels like there's something going on. So he does some research and finds out that the rink owes a bunch of money to the bank. And so he calls up the owner of the rink and threatens to tear it down and lets him know, he's on the up and up here, he has until the day after Christmas.
The business day after Christmas.
To pay what they owe.
That's right.
So if Christmas falls on a Sunday, you would technically have until Tuesday.
You would technically have until Tuesday.
So we don't know the logistics.
72 hours.
But it's important.
Where's that from? You remember.
The gathering.
That's right.
72 hours. So they decide, hey, we're going to put together some videos. We're going to do some things. We're going to throw a ball. We're gonna throw a lot of stuff at the wall.
Roller skate ball.
Maybe even videos.
Social media influencers.
Maybe even I do a video and it's the best thing I've ever done and it makes people think that I'm human.
I love the spin. Hashtag save the spin.
So all of that's happening. Ian has a girl that's a friend.
They have sexy times.
They have sexy time.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that
it's more than just a friend.
I think
you say he's just a friend,
but she makes it clear that they're not exclusive until she gets jealous of Deeja and then is like, "Hey, this is my man."
That's my man. That's right.
So basically, she, from what I can gather, has been using Ian to advance her career as a social media roller skater. And Deeja has the receipts to prove it. Yeah. And so she shows, basically he puts it all out there. He's like, hey, I love you. And I'm willing to throw it all away to be with you. And she's like, I need to think about it. The next day she says, hey, I have the receipts proving that your girl is just in it for the skates. And he's like, I tell you this, and then you do that. But then she's like, I got the things. And so big to do there. It's time for the big ball. Big roller skating Christmas ball.
Yeah,
roller ball.
Done. Yeah, I like
and
that.
the other boyfriend, her boyfriend, current boyfriend, shows up.
British.
He's British. He gets on the mic and is like, hey, Deeja, I need you to come here. And
spin that track.
And he has 2 tickets to paradise. They're going to go have fun time. And then the owner
Paper tickets to Switzerland.
Paper tickets to Switzerland. Saw them live, and the owner of the roller rink walks in and is like, "That's the guy. That's the guy that's trying to tear down the rink." And he's like, "I'm not the bad guy here." And then everyone's like, "You most certainly
You
are.
most certainly
You
are the bad guy
100%
here.
are
Yes,
the bad
yes,
guy
yes,
here."
yeah.
And he takes offense to that, so he leaves.
Yeah.
And Deja, Ian's dad,
Who's been gone the
who's
whole
been
movie.
in the movie the whole time, we know him, we love him, big fan, shows up and is like, "Hey, how much you need?" And the roller rink guy is like, "I'll slide you a piece of paper." He slides him a piece of paper. He sees it. He says,
We can do it.
we can do it. Consider it done.
We call this Datus Ex Machina.
It's a real Dr. John moment. It's the moment we all were waiting
He
for.
arrives.
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
And so to celebrate, Deja and Ian go out for one more skate on the rink of many, I'm sure, because it's staying open, and they kiss, I guess. And that, my friends, was Rolling into Christmas.
We did it.
We did do it, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we will talk about this movie the best way that we can here on Deck the Hallmark.
That stings. That stings for all involved. Brand kept saying Deja enough to where I thought it was Deja. It's Deja.
Deja.
Yeah, like deja
deja
vu.
vu.
Guys, I'm getting deja vu over here. The problem is on IMDb is DEJA, and I'm a few hours removed at this point. It's all a blur, so I'm just reading it the best I can. There's no excuse, guys. I'm sorry. I should be a better journalist than this.
You're a journalist? That Alonzo, literally, is on a flight now to come kill you.
I'm not a journalist either. Let's not, I'm a critic, but I don't ask me to interview anybody.
All right. You've done it before, right?
I know, but
You're a journalist, Alonzo.
Okay, fine. I'm a journalist.
What's your degree in?
I made one up, actually. I've been interdisciplinary from Vanderbilt.
But what's it? Come on, what did you study?
It's called Criticism and Contemporary Media, because I wanted to be a film critic, and I went to a college that at the time when I was there, didn't have a film school, and I think still doesn't have a journalism school. So I winged it.
It's just a slacker school, Vanderbilt.
It can be if you do it right. Trust me.
Yeah, you just slummed it as a Commodore there in Nashville.
Let's talk about rolling into Christmas. Let's start with a hot take, and I will roll right on over to my friend Alonzo. Alonzo, what do you think about rolling into Christmas?
Wow. This movie was a roller coaster of it was everything, like on the one hand, we have two Baxters who F, which was new and different.
I saw two Baxters who F live, and not like they were a band. They were a band.
They weren't. They weren't. You didn't go to some weird show.
Right. No, that would have been.
They played for lots of people. It was but once again, instruments.
Now you had been to some weird shows.
Opened
this was not one of them.
Switzerland. And you have like an actual health reason for somebody to come home. It's not an Aunt Ruby falls off the ladder situation here.
Not totally convinced it's not, though.
Silent heart attack, Alonzo. I don't know.
It's up there, But yeah, what this movie asks us to understand about roller rinks and social media and childhood sweethearts and a whole lot of other things is just a lot. But I was constantly fascinated to see where this thing was going to go next, because
Stop it.
There is such a level. Now, look, here's the thing: when you have a level of evil, from two different villains, I'm like, okay, this is the hashtag not my Hallmark, and I'm here for it. On the other hand, this movie makes a Hallmark kiss seem like it's NC-17.
That's right, it does.
Because
we missed it.
Two Baxters that F.
That was a friendly peck is what we get, I think, at the end there. I loved the fact that the the she Baxter is the one person in this movie who can apparently act and skate.
That's right.
Because
That's
usually
right.
you either skate and say nothing, or you are giving a performance and then like your hips up on the wheels, you know. But anyway, yeah, this was bananas, but I'm kind of here for it just because it was so nutty within the realm of what we expect from movies like this.
Oh wow, that's a kind take. That is a kind. You were a kind and gentle soul. I just
were you not entertained?
We laughed a lot. We laughed a lot. Man, by the time we get to 2 paper tickets to Switzerland, we are like inconsolable with laughter. Like we were crying laughing. We were around several scenes. Go ahead, Brandon. It's your hot take.
Yeah, this movie is wild. It is an hour and 35 minutes.
Couldn't shave a
We
second
we
off
were here's can we meet in the middle somewhere in between an hour with 15 minutes of credits and then an hour and 35 and then get to a normal movie?
Yeah.
I don't know how they even did it, really. I don't know how they got to an hour and 35. It's impressive.
They didn't leave anything on the cutting room floor.
No.
Everything made it.
Yeah, this movie's bonkers. It's wacky new. I did have a blast and a ball watching it with my friend Dan. Lots of laughter. I genuinely am like, somebody please like send us a good BET movie, because I'm starting to feel bad now. I'm starting to think that this is like where like
What was the other one we watched?
there's been the one with the twins last year.
Oh yeah, the twins and the twins.
The Swiss. Does
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you know what? No, there was that Jewel the Heist Christmas
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
I
with
didn't
Shady Rose.
dislike that one.
That's a
dislike
good movie.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
all
okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
This one is I can't believe it. I can't believe that it was written by a human, and
It was written by a bot.
It was
not written
that's
by a
the
human.
only
It
explanation.
was written by a bot.
Y'all, we will get into
I've
the
got-
wait what.
I
We will
have-
talk about specific lines that literally could not be written by a person.
I have 8 lines of dialogue I'm willing to read just like without any emotional fluctuation. at
It's
all.
wild, but I did have fun.
Yeah.
Fun. So if the goal of cinema is fun, A+.
Yeah, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. However, I laughed a lot in this movie. It was like somebody gave the Christmas in Carolina people a budget. It was like they were like, here you go, get some lights and some sound and some cameras, and make a movie. I got to tell you, so much of this movie doesn't make sense. I had so many questions. The dialogue is off the charts, wacky new, and we laughed till my stomach hurt.
Would recommend.
Like, yeah, depending on what kind of movie fan you are, there's a place for this movie.
And who came over to watch it with you?
That's right. Yeah. Brandon and
I mean,
were,
this is up there with like Christmas in Carolina as like
Yes.
fun times, right?
Brandon and I watched this at 10:15 in the morning on a Thursday. If you can do that with your life, you are living right. If on 10:15 on a Thursday morning, you're cranking out this movie as part of your job, you're doing it.
You wake up laughing.
That's right. I wake up laughing. That's exactly right. My head pops off the pillow. Like, I didn't clock in today. I watched this. That made it worth it. But it is, oh boy, is it not good. And I can't wait to dive into the wait what's, because some of this stuff, if you just say it, it just doesn't even pass the auditory test of saying it out loud, where you're like, well, that we couldn't put that in the movie. But they do. So I'm here for that.
Let's get to feels. Alonzo.
I did like early on when he asks her to be his girlfriend and they're like 12 or whatever. I liked how thoroughly awkward that was, because
Yeah.
it always is at that age. And I thought the movie really kind of captured that. Again, Baxter's Who F. That is new and different. I did actually like the roller rink origin story, like the idea that there are ice rinks in town and they didn't let black people come to them back in the day. And so like, all right, fine, we're going to go roller skating on Christmas and that's going to be our thing. And
That's
then
fantastic.
it becomes tradition and kind of a, you know, a community event. Like, that's awesome. I love just the level of evil again between spurned boyfriend who's gonna foreclose on the roller rink just because he can, and girl who keeps this guy on a short leash, who's just using him to get more social media followers. I'm like, wow, this is some evil stuff here. And I have to give special shout out to Jasmine Robinson, who plays the cousin Cece, who somehow manages to create a character when all that she has been given in the script is a collection of buzzwords. Like, she is literally like, somebody just got what the hip lingo was with the kids and like just poured it all into this one character, and she somehow has carved a human being out of nothing but jargon. So done.
That's true.
Man.
Props to her, because everything she's required to say is just a Mad Lib of like Gen Z terms.
Jasmine Robinson, clearly, I think clearly the best of the bunch. Best of the bunch,
the evil Baxterette, the evil girl Baxter was fun bad. Like,
and
it
can
was like,
skate.
Yes.
And can skate.
So there you have it.
You know what? I love events, like places you can go where the lights go down and the fun lights come out, like glow bowling or the roller rink. Why are you being weird? I'm not being weird about it. I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying, Dan. I'm not gonna do this anymore with you.
My feels was Brandon's feels.
It's at the venue where Baxter's Who F play, you know.
Oh, come on, guys. Let's get over. Let's go. We'll be back
have a
here.
secret password and a pretty great ID to get in there.
We'll be back here next homework.
So
What was
we'll
that?
play the outro break music. Alonzo will cough really loudly. Then we'll play the break intro music. It'll be perfect.
It's gonna be perfect.
Am I being produced? Give me a break. I don't know. I'm trying to work through
Listen,
here.
we're all just out here. We're all just on this big blue marble.
Just spinning. Yep.
That's exactly right. Before we get to the way what, a quick reminder that if you don't have Philo, I'm waiting your what are you waiting for? At philo.tv/DTH, you can watch this show and so much more, including a good bulk of all things that we watch for Deck the Hallmark. So philo.tv/DTH.
That Matt Cohen interview last week,
Woo!
you're going to want Philo for that.
Exactly right.
It's a visual interview.
That's
it just is.
That's exactly right. Let's get to the way what of rolling into Christmas. And let's start with Alonzo. What are you whatting?
Okay, well, I grew up in Atlanta, and so I can tell you firsthand that it does not snow there in December. Like,
No.
and if it does, it's a dusting at best. And so when
and
this
if
movie
it snows more than that, they shut the whole city
Oh yeah,
down.
absolutely. No. It's to the bunkers and get your canned goods and water. So yeah, the idea, the establishing shots of this movie of like the snowy expressway or the snowy city streets. I'm like, the fact that they got snow, Christmas decorations, and Atlanta streets at the same time is some kind of miracle. I must have happened sometime in an early January, and somebody was just slow to take down their candy canes. But so that was, I was immediately like, no, not my Atlanta. I was a little confused early on as to who was related to whom.
Yep.
So I did not get that the woman teaching the roller skating class was Deja's mom.
Yeah.
And that's important very quickly thereafter.
Very important.
I get that Grams is the instructor's mom, but I didn't. So that would have been nicer to know. Untangling lights is a lot harder when they are plugged in because you've only got one direction to untie them in. Whereas if you have both ends loose,
you never plug in lights to untangle them.
No.
That's like rule one.
No, I get it. It's a visual component, but no, the actual act of untangling demands that you not do that.
Even Christmas in Carolina knew that.
Yes. Yeah, I give them points there. You're right. Actually, they specifically do that. You're right. I love the line, let's turn the Christmas ball into a fundraiser. And I wrote, the Christmas ball, which we haven't mentioned until now. Oh, that great idea. What's the Christmas ball? Anyway.
Oh, man. There's
just
so many things, Alonzo, in this movie that they don't mention until they happen.
Until they have to.
Oh, no. Yeah, clearly.
Like
people,
family
things.
members.
Yeah. It's wild.
How much do you need? Here you go.
There you go, buddy. Here's your money.
This comes
Wish
up.
you'd asked me an hour ago.
This comes up a lot in these movies, and in all of them, like from your upper echelon Hallmark to your your Christmas in Carolinas, but the model homeness of it all, like
Oh my
none of these
gosh.
places look like homes where people actually live. They are so lacking in personality, so much white wall going on, even with all the Christmas stuff being festooned upon it. Like it hits hard in this movie. She takes Christmas cards and puts them on the wall to make a non-tree tree, which is certainly a thing you can do and a way to cover up a big white space, which this movie offers plenty of. But you'll see like the same card like 4 different times. So it's not like she took cards that they received in the mail and put them on the wall. She bought a box of greeting
Did you
cards
catch that?
and started sticking them on the wall. So like you'll see 4 of them with the exact same design
Oh
on
my
them.
gosh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. Oh, this movie is
Oh.
a treasure trove. What can I tell you?
Yeah,
The dad.
Yeah,
Not his dad who resolves the
No.
plot.
we're talking
her-
about Gary Dordan, Warwick Brown from CSI.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Her dad, the troop, who shows up at the end of the movie, having aged not a day in the
No.
15 years since we first saw him in the movie, and wearing the same army getup.
we got to talk about that for a second. We got to camp here. First of all, I would submit to you he looks younger at the end of the movie than the beginning. I would submit to you he legitimately looks younger. Like the first time you see him, it's like he had a long night. He just woke up and did this. The second time, it's like he's more prepared. He's younger.
Refreshed.
That's right. Second of all, I've never seen an Army uniform try less. It is the least official Army.
Yeah.
Like,
This is like I grabbed it at the surplus store because I had 5 minutes in there.
He
you know?
literally has full facial hair. He has his hair is doing whatever he wants. The collar is popped on this Army uniform. Where there should be a name is just a Velcro strip. Where there should be a patch is just a Velcro strip. It is from Party City.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that is even remotely near Army.
There's a theory walking around or going around this office that he's not actually in the Army.
Yeah,
that
that's his cover
that
story.
he just was I gotta go again. I got an Army.
I gotta go to Army.
I'll be
Yeah.
back.
Or that he's a ghost.
Or he's a ghost.
Oh,
that-
always a
Yeah,
possibility.
but it is the Army uniform alone is worth its own category. Yeah, like worth its own segment when we talk about this movie, because I've never seen anyone try less to convince you that someone's in the Army.
Popped collar,
Then Gary-
facial hair. That's just a whole.
Yeah,
The Army collar is popped, people. It's popped. That is not.
That's the official costume of Stolen Valor, I think. Is what it's
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, that is. You could no.
And then
Sheesh.
and then for the ending, I just wrote down kissing small ones.
Oh, that would be kind.
That's kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
her
it's not a handshake. That we had that once. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. See you.
See you soon. Her front door is see-through. It's all a window
Yes.
with nothing on it.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Come on in.
You're a monster. You're just asking for it. Her boyfriend. I don't think her boyfriend had a British accent in his first scene. The second scene, Dan and I both looked at each other and was like, was he British?
And the thing is the actor is from
He is British.
England. It's just early on.
I feel like he
looking
tried
for
to like make
something.
it more subtle in his first. I don't know what
It
happened.
was wild.
But his second scene, Dan and I literally both looked at each other like, what?
Is he British?
Is he British?
Yeah.
This is British. How about that? I'll let you do all the direct quotes, Dan.
You can take him if you want.
No, it's okay. It'll be more fun that way. So they bring in
I
a.
didn't do the adequate in there.
Oh,
FYI.
Oh, you didn't?
I did that one's.
All right,
'cause it's a
I'll
separate
leave
way
this
left.
then. There's a line. You know what's crazy? We weren't allowed up there when we were kids. Talking about the attic. No, it's not crazy.
No one was allowed in the attic as a
Literally
child.
every kid ever.
That's like rule one of
You know what's-
parenting.
you know
Don't
what's
climb
crazy?
the rickety wooden staircase to the attic. Right?
No, it's crazy.
Can you believe when we were kids, our parents wouldn't let us up there,
By
with
ourselves?
nails and plywood? You believe that?
You believe my dad wouldn't let me climb under the house
Well, I tried
in
to
the
eat
crawl space when I was a
tried to
kid?
eat the insulation one time, and then all of a sudden,
I said, "Can't go up to it." Can you believe this? Can you believe this? So they bring in the saddest tree I've ever seen.
Oh my
An
gosh.
absolute travesty. The tree drops on the ground. Okay, they both leave, which I was like, "You guys are just gonna leave it there?" They come back,
and there's
a completely different tree. Guys,
Yeah.
it's not
It's not
even
even
close.
it isn't.
A completely different tree is set up.
Well, because the first one is shed all over them, so they just had to get rid of it, I guess.
I just what? Shout out to the rink owner that has a piece of paper taped or nailed on his wall that just says payment due immediately.
in all caps.
So that everyone that comes into my office knows that I'm in it deep.
it's not a packet. It's not a packet of papers that really small at the top says please remit payment. It's just
It's
a
the whole
poster.
piece of paper.
It looks like a beware of dog sign, but instead it just says payment due immediately. And he just staples it up to the
Yeah,
wall.
I don't want to forget this. I want to forget it.
Where's the actual bill, Dale? I don't know.
So Ian at one point says, "Hey, get out your phone. I got to airdrop you something." And so he goes to send her something and he says, "I know how much you love apps. So I got you an app that lets you dream, think, whatever." But what? I got you an app?
I know how much you love
App. So I got you an
and
app.
not appetizers, because then I'm with you.
Absolutely. I know
Look,
how much you love
girl,
mozzarella
I know how
sticks.
much you love apps. Here's a mozzarella
I know
sticks.
how much you love Applebee wings at 11:30 half price.
Yeah.
You,
I think
you
we all
wanted
do.
you wanted one that would make you laugh and dream, so I got you Candy Crush jelly.
I know how
Is it
much you
free?
love apps.
Yes.
I know how much you love apps.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's not a thing.
No.
I know it's not a thing people say. We talked about how great Cece was. I will say it was a choice to when saying the line, "When you come to my register, I always have receipts," with an accent
Yeah.
as if like I thought that it was like a quote or like a movie thing. I Googled it. It's not a thing.
Yeah,
She
she's
just
like,
made a
she's
choice.
Sean Connery all of a sudden. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that
It
from something? Should I know this?
I literally Googled it. I was like, is this a movie quote that I don't know? Like, which is a lot. But no, it's just, she just made a choice.
Sean Connery in the reboot of Clerks.
When you come to my register. Oh boy, I don't know what it was. Last but not least, I was watching this movie. We could I will talk about background music, I'm sure, at some point. But one of the background songs is a song that we play every single week on Christmas morning. Shout out to the Christmas Morning podcast that has, I believe, around the same budget as Rolling into Christmas when it comes to their music. Dan?
Lines delivered in this feature film. I know how much you love apps. Even when you put your little accounting job in front of our skating careers, I kept working. Even when you put your little
Priorities.
accounting job in front of our skating careers, I kept working.
The accounting job that bought him a mansion.
The grandma says, if these cameras catch me in any uncompromising positions. All right, grandma, take it easy. Another line delivered. Give me a second. This is starting to feel like one of our old capers.
And they mean the small thing you put in potato salad.
Salty, that's right. This is starting to feel like one of our old capers. Oh my gosh. Another banger right here. You ready? Wow, that really is your childhood room. as opposed to a fake childhood room. Nope, this is the real deal. Wow, that really is your childhood room. We were like castaways in that hammock and then skinny dipping in the water. Look, and then lastly,
There's something about the skinny, but like between the planks or something. where I
yeah,
was
it's a
what?
lot. It's all over your social media page. Those are all real lines in this movie. Let's talk about, you talked about how mean the Baxters were. This is the heel turn of the century. This is a rich, wealthy British acolyte who is suave and like they travel the globe. And he goes from being like a rich Baxter to, I'm going to burn this skating rink to the ground. He turns into a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he's a different guy and you don't want any part of this guy. He'll end you.
It's
I'm
all
going to blow it up
wild,
while
though.
there's a widows and orphans party.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
He's like
Exactly.
talking to someone. He's like, send me the
Yeah.
bank statements
But-
from the roller rink that are then password protected.
But the best part is that not only is he going to do it, he calls this poor roller skating rink owner up and tells him his plan. That is like
Next
like
level
if you were gonna-
diabolical.
that's like murdering the widows and orphans and calling them first. Like,
Here's
this
what's gonna
guy has
happen.
this guy has a payment due immediately, sign up like no dogs allowed, and you're calling him to tell him you're taking everything. He didn't have to make that call.
Yeah.
You're doing that just out of the badness of your heart.
You could do it all through a holding company or something, but no.
Yeah.
I want you to hear it in my voice when I tell you that
Say
I'm gonna
my
crush
name.
you.
Yeah. I think somewhere along the way, the musical tracks and the scenes got off. Like we started, do you know what I mean? Like they lined them up and they sent them over and they had to switch it from like Excel to Sheets or something. And they got all messed up because I'm telling you right now, there are scenes that are very serious with comedic music, and there are scenes that are comedic with very serious music. There is a scene where grandma's going off about not being a real housewife, and it is undertracked by a piano that sounds like it's straight out of an ASPCA commercial. Like it is a weird, like, and it happens the
There's
whole
a
movie.
serious conversation set to like Coco Melon music.
It's
It's weird.
it doesn't, none of it tracks.
And even when they do match up, there is one sort of would-be poignant moment that is scored to a very slow and somber Silent Night, and it's just like, I get what we're doing here, and I understand that it's public domain, but no Christmas movie, no.
Three big ones coming down the home stretch. One is she comes back to her hometown for the first time in 15 years, and the dude that she had a crush on when she was a kid comes into her grandma's house and goes, I'm here for my yearly assist. I come over and I get all of the decorations out of the attic. And this girl who's not been home in 15 years, stone-faced, looks at her family and goes, how did I not know about this? Well, maybe they left it out of the dude gets things out of the attic newsletter. Why would you know about that? Why, like what? At what point in your relationship would you be pinged that someone came and got something out of the attic?
You can either not come home for Christmas or miss out on some details. Like these are the choices.
Yeah,
I sometimes come over and I pee in your grandma's toilet. No
like,
one told me.
What?
No
Yeah.
one even told me that.
How many hours would you have to be on the phone with your cousin before
To
she
get to
brings
that.
up that the dude goes to the attic to get the decorations?
Once a year.
Once a year. Like, how could I not know? How was I not informed? Well, I mean, he wasn't
No one even
committing-
ran it by me.
like yeah. They have a very limited time to make this this money number they need to make, and they're turning the Christmas ball into a fundraiser. I tell you what they do have time for is to create a thermometer and label it fund thermometer. Nothing else.
I got to piggyback on that because I forgot about this one. All right. So one of the things they talk about they're going to do as a fundraiser during the ball is that local businesses are going to sponsor skaters. The skaters are going to like wear, like the logos or whatever the business is as they're going around.
Yeah.
And then that never
happens. We don't
Like,
see a
why
wall.
bring it up if you're not going to give me a T-shirt with a tire company on it?
Yeah, something, anything. It never happens, not once. And then I think the last one, which is just a really nice little cherry on the sundae is this dad comes in, not the army dad, the other dad. We've not heard hide nor hair from him all
CPA
movie.
dad.
He says he was at the brunch. I did not take it to the tape. He doesn't have any lines. He comes in and he's like, "How much do you need?" And they're like, "This much." He goes, we can make it happen." And everybody just goes nuts. And then he says, "Hey, it's a tax write-off anyway." I don't think so, champ. I'm pretty sure roller skating rinks are for profit.
And a business. Yeah.
You can't get a tax write-off for that. That's not how those work. I'm worried about you as a professional. It is not a tax write-off at all.
I think that moment was meant to be sort of the Sam Wainwright telegram moment from It's a Wonderful Life, but yeah, they don't set it up in any way that really makes sense.
It never gets any sort of setup. You're right. That's all I've got.
I also love that he just says, "You should have told me at the brunch," as if we were supposed to notice him at the brunch. Never seen this guy in my life.
He was in the back slinging canapes or something. I don't know.
This is starting to feel like one of our old capers. What are you talking about?
It
You haven't
sure
seen
is.
each other since you were 12.
It's time for Bet On It. It's where we talk about any questions that we still have that we'd like some answers to, because you can bet on it.
Bet on it. Bet. Nicely.
There you go. Well done, High School Musical. High School Musical? Yeah. Two. Alonso, what are you betting on?
Well, I'm really, really fascinated to see how Ian's proposed app, which he describes as a combination social media celebrity romance thing with a lot of roller skating happens. Like it just sounded like such an amazing word salad even for this movie. I was like, what's that app going to look like, and who and why? And so it was just like that just seems to be of all the things of their future, which seems very much in question, that was the one that stuck out to me the most.
I just want to talk about the guy in the testimonial video.
I love Spin. Hashtag save the Spin.
Probably my favorite line delivery in this entire movie. I absolutely loved it. I want to know everything there is to know about him, because it felt as if he stumbled onto set and they said, "You got a good smile."
Yeah.
And they just let him have at it.
And he starts off so strong. Like the train leaves the station and he's all in on this
I
line.
need to try to get the clip.
Halfway through the line delivery, he realizes he does not remember the rest of the line.
He doesn't have it.
And so it's like, "I love the Spin." And then he's like, oh, like you can see it on his face. He has forgotten what he's supposed to say next. And it is so great watching him like find his way back. It's wonderful. It's really, really wonderful.
Dan?
Yeah. We've talked about it ad infinitum. I need to know about her dad. I need to know why he's Benjamin Button. I need to know what branch of Space Force he's a part of. I need to know where has he been for the last 15 years and why she hasn't mentioned him, even though she grew up with him. I have so many questions, and I don't think I'm ever going to get those answers, and that is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. Another one in the books. Next week, we're heading over to Tubi for a Christmas #1.
Christmas #1.
I've heard good things.
I've heard good things as well. A Christmas #1. It's a little bit on the longer side. Longer than an hour and 35. Even.
What?
So there you go. A Christmas #1. Listening to Mamba #5. But I think that's the only logical thing you could do. We'll be back then, and we'll be back tomorrow as well, of course. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.